Christopher Brian Bridges, born September 11, 1977, known professionally as Ludacris, spoken as Ludacris in American English, is an American rapper and actor. Personal life. Ludacris has a daughter named Karma Bridges, born August 2001, and the inspiration behind Karma's World, from a relationship with an attorney from Atlanta. He also has a daughter, Kybella Bridges, born December 2013, with Tamika Fuller, a longtime friend. From 2009 until their marriage in 2014, he dated model Ludacris Mbugiang. On December 26, 2014, Ludacris became engaged to Mbugiang while in Costa Rica, and the two married later that same day. In early June 2015. Ludacris announced that the couple had welcomed a baby girl. In May 2021, Ludacris shared via Instagram that Ludacris and her were expecting their second child together. In January 2020, Ludacris acquired Gabonese citizenship along with his mother and two daughters. Early life. Born Christopher Brian Bridges in Champaign, Illinois, Ludacris moved to Oak Park as a teenager. After attending Oak Park River Forest High School in 9th grade, Ludacris moved to Centerville, Virginia, and attended Centerville High School for 1 year. He attended Banneker High School in Atlanta, Georgia, and graduated in 1995. From 1998 to 1999. He studied music management at Georgia State University. Ludacris' parents are both African American. His great-great-grandfather was a Choctaw. In an interview with A.J. Jacobs, Ludacris learned that his great-grandmother had said one of his great-great-grandfathers, who is a white Englishman, was probably Jewish. Ludacris is also a distant cousin of the comedian Richard Pryor. He wrote his first rap song at age 9 when moving to Atlanta and joined an amateur rap group 3 years later. Music career. 1998 to 2000, Incognito and back for the first time. Ludacris served as an intern and then a DJ at Atlanta's Hot 97.5, now Hot 107.9, under the name Chris Lova. During his radio career, Ludacris met music producer Timbaland, whose album Tim's Bio, Life from Debasement, would feature Ludacris on the track Fat Rabbit, credited as Ludacris. Speaking with MTV's hip-hop show Direct Effect in 2000, Ludacris explained his stage name was a play on the word ludicrous. In 1999, Ludacris released his debut album Incognito through his independent label Disturbing the Peace. Def Jam South would later repackage Incognito with some new songs added into Ludacris's major label debut back for the first time in 2000. The album reached number 4 on the U.S. Billboard 200 and included the singles What's Your Fantasy, featuring Shawnna, and Southern Hospitality, featuring Pharrell Williams, which respectively reached the numbers 21 and 23 spots on the Billboard Hot 100. 2001 to 2003, Word of Mouth and Chicken and Beer. In 2001, Ludacris contributed the hit single Area Codes, featuring Nate Dogg, to the soundtrack to the film Rush Hour 2. It was also included on his next album, Word of Mouth, released later that year. The Word of Mouth lead single Rollout, My Business, was nominated for the Grammy Award for Best Male Rap Solo Performance in the 2003 Grammy Awards. Two other singles reached the Hot 100 in 2002, Saturday, Oh, featuring Sleepy Brown peaked at number 22, and Move Bitch featuring Mystical and I-20 peaked at number 10. Ludacris also had guest spots on hit singles throughout 2001 and 2002, such as Jermaine Dupri's Welcome to Atlanta that peaked at number 35 on the Hot 100 and number 15 on the Hot R&B/Hip Hop chart. Ludacris was among multiple featured rappers on Bia Bia by Lil Jon and the East Side Boys, which peaked at number 47 on the R&B/Hip Hop chart in August 2001. In the last week of 2002, Gossip Folks by Missy Elliott featuring Ludacris was released as a single. It peaked at number 8 on the Hot 100 in March 2003. In April 2003, Ludacris released single Act a Fool from the soundtrack of the movie Too Fast, Too Furious, where Ludacris played Tej Parker. Director John Singleton brought Ludacris into the franchise after failing to secure Ja Rule's return for the sequel to The Fast and the Furious. In the fall of 2003, Ludacris released his next album Chicken and Beer. Guest appearances included Playaz Circle, Chingy, Snoop Dogg, 8Ball and MJG, Lil Flip, I-20, Lil Fate, and Shawnna. The single, Stand Up, appeared on both Chicken and Beer as well as the soundtrack for the teen hip-hop/dance movie You Got Served. Produced by Kanye West, Stand Up went on to become one of Ludacris' biggest mainstream hits to date, hitting the top spot on the Billboard Hot 100, garnering heavy airplay on mainstream pop, rhythmic, and urban radio stations, as well as on MTV, MTV2, and BET. Ludacris was sued by a New Jersey group called IOF who claimed that Stand Up used a hook from one of their songs, but in June 2006, a jury found that the song did not violate copyrights. "I hope the plaintiffs enjoyed their 15 minutes of fame," Ludacris said after the verdict. The album's next single, Splash Waterfalls, was released in early 2004. A huge pop hit, despite its steamy video and explicit, adult-oriented lyrical content and themes, it subsequently became a success at urban radio and BT, and is the only time he has produced 2 consecutive top 10 singles from a solo album, except for Release Therapy. An unedited version of the video could only be viewed on BT's Uncut program. It was Ludacris' most sexual video yet, an R&B remix that featured Raphael Saadiq and sampled Tony. Tone S Whatever You Want. Ludacris received his first Grammy Award with Usher and Lil Jon for their hit single Yeah. Ludacris next released Blow It Out, which was accompanied by a low-budget music video. 2004 to 2007, The Red Light District and Release Therapy. Ludacris during a 2011 New Year's Day concert in a Miami Beach nightclub. Ludacris took a more mature approach to his 4th album, The Red Light District. Sohail Khalid helped produce this album with various artists such as T.I., Lil Flip, and Bun B. Ludacris openly boasted that he may be the only rapper able to keep the Def Jam label afloat on the opening track. Ludacris filmed and recorded the single Get Back, in which he was featured as a muscle-bound Hulk who was being annoyed by the media and warned critics to leave him alone. He first appeared on Saturday Night Live as a special guest performing with musical guest Sum 41 on a season 30 episode hosted by Paul Giamatti. He then recorded Get Back with Sum 41 to make a rock crossover single. The follow-up single was the Austin Powers-inspired #1 spot. It was produced by New York City's Hot 97 personality DJ Green Lantern. It used the Quincy Jones sample of soul bossa nova and sped it up to the tempo of Ludacris' rap flow. Featured artists on the album include Nas, DJ Quick, DMX, Trick Daddy, Sleepy Brown, and Disturbing the Peace newcomers Bobby Valentino, Dolla Boy, and Small World. The album debuted at #1 on the Billboard charts. In an issue of XXL, Ludacris was placed in the #9 spot for the most anticipated albums of 2006 for Release Therapy. The album Release Therapy was released on September 26, 2006. Ludacris formatted the CD to have 2 sides, a release side and a therapy side on a single CD. Guest appearances include Pharrell Williams, R. Kelly, Young Jeezy, Mary J. Blige, Field Mob, Bobby Valentino, Pimp C, C-Murder, and Beanie Sigel. The first single, Moneymaker, which features Williams, was released to U.S. radio outlets on July 17, 2006. Moneymaker reached #1 on the BET program 106 and Park. It then went to become the rapper's second #1 single after 6 years, citation needed. His second single, Grew Up a Screw Up, featuring Young Jeezy, dispels rumors that the two are or ever were in a dispute. His third single, Runaway Love, soon peaked at #1 on the U.S. Billboard Hot Rap Tracks and won Best Collaboration in the 2007 BET Awards. Release Therapy won the Best Rap Album Award at the 2007 Grammy Awards. His album then reached #1 on the Billboard 200 album charts with sales of 309,000 in its first week. With the release of this album, Ludacris marked a change in style in his career with his musical style. The new album itself features a departure of the lighthearted mood of his previous albums and introduces a darker side. A change of hair accompanied this as he cut off his trademark braids for a more conventional fade cut. To promote the album, Ludacris returned to Saturday Night Live as both host and musical guest on November 18, 2006. 2008 to 2010, Theater of the Mind and Battle of the Sexes. The Preview, a mixtape to preview the album, was released on July 28, 2008. Theater of the Mind was released on November 24, 2008, and in April 2008, the single Let's Stay Together appeared on XXLMag.com, supposedly from the new album. Let's Stay Together was expected to but was released as a bonus track on the CD. A song with Small World called Pinky Shirneen was expected to be on the album, but it was dropped. In an interview with Complex magazine, he stated that Chris Brown, Lil Wayne, Rick Ross, T.I., Plies, Common, T-Pain, Jay-Z, Nas, and The Game will be on the album. Game is featured in a track with Willie Northpole titled Call Up the Homies. T.I. was on the album on a track called Wish You Would, squashing the long feud between them. The album debuted at number 5 on the Billboard 200 with 213,493 sold first week. The album was released the same date as Kanye West's 808s and Heartbreak, which took the number 1 spot. His first single, What Them Girls Like, featuring Chris Brown and Sean Garrett, peaked at number 33 on the Billboard Hot 100. His second single, One More Drink, featuring T-Pain, peaked at number 24 on the Billboard Hot 100. The third official single is Nasty Girl, featuring Plies. He confirmed a sequel titled Ludicrous due to be released September 11, 2012. Ludacris was featured on Justin Bieber's hit single Baby, which became one of the highest certified singles of all time in the U.S. and gained international success. His 8th studio album was released on March 9, 2010, with his first promotional single for the album being Everybody Drunk, which features Callum Smith, originally featuring Shawnna. The first concept idea of the album was to have Ludacris and Shawnna battle it out on the album Back to Back, but this was later axed upon Shawnna's departure from Disturbing the Peace, ending her contract on Ludacris label and joining T-Pain's Nappy Boy Entertainment label. The first official single released from Battle of the Sexes was How Low, which was released on December 8, 2009. The follow-up single was My Chick Bad, released on February 23, 2010. The third single is Sex Room, peaking at number 69 on the Billboard Hot 100. Ludacris's Battle of the Sexes entered the chart at number 1, with 137,000 sales in the first week. The album is currently certified gold. 2012 to 2015, Ludiversal. In 2012, Ludacris released the singles Representin' and Rest of My Life, both of which were scrapped after the songs underperformed and the recording process for his upcoming album Ludiversal stalled. On May 24, 2013, Ludacris released a mixtape entitled #IdGaff. He had been releasing a new song on Fridays, as he was calling these releases IdGaff Fridays. These songs, in order of release, were Raised in the South featuring rapper Jeezy, released on April 19. That release was followed by If I Ain't Fucked Up on April 26, 9 Times Out of 10 featuring rappers French Montana and K on May 3, Speak Into the Mic on May 10, and I Don't Give a Fuck on May 17. The last song was released a week before the release of the mixtape. The mixtape had almost 60,000 downloads via datpiff.com within the first day. Ludacris reprised his role as Tej in the blockbuster movie Fast and Furious 6, which opened during Memorial Day weekend, May 2013. Ludacris had this to say about his upcoming new album: I think every album is like a progression, I'm working with different producers. Usher, we definitely have this album, which is a great thing. Neo is also on the album, and I have producers like David Guetta, we have Stargate, have trainees. The Kelly Rowland single just came out that you need to check out. It's called Representing. On August 3, 2013, Ludacris confirmed to Vibe.com he will be working with Anita Baker. I don't know if the cat's out the bag. Yeah, Anita Baker is definitely on the album, admitted Luda. She's on that particular song. It is really about my father and growing up and me being a kid and trying to get him to stop and me dealing with that. After a lengthy hiatus, Ludacris returned to the music on January 30, 2014, with the release of a single Party Girls featuring Jeremiah, Wiz Khalifa and Kashmir Cat. The song takes a cue from Aqua's 1997 song Barbie Girl. However, the single did not appear on the new album. On October 9, 2014, Ludacris announced that Ludiversal would be released on March 31, 2015, which will be preceded by an EP titled Burning Bridges due for release on December 16, 2014. On October 31, 2014, Ludacris premiered the first single from the Burning Bridges EP titled Good Lovin' featuring American singer Miguel. Due to its moderate success, Good Lovin' would go on to serve as the first single from Ludiversal. On March 3, 2015, Ludacris held a listening party for Ludiversal with Def Jam. The track's intro, Not For Long featuring Usher, and Come and See Me featuring Big Crit were revealed to the public after 3 years' worth of delays. Ludacris was released March 31, 2015, to generally positive reviews and peaked at number 3 on the Billboard 200. 2017 present, upcoming 10th studio album and Karma's World. In March 2017, Ludacris confirmed that he was working on his 10th studio album in an interview with Complex magazine. Citation needed. On March 31, 2017, Ludacris released a new single called Vitamin D featuring Ty Dolla $ign. In 2017, Ludacris hosted YouTube's Best Cover Ever show. In 2018, he was featured on country singer Carrie Underwood's single The Champaign. The song peaked at number 47 on the Billboard Hot 100 and was the opening song for Super Bowl 52 and 2018 Winter Olympics and Cry Pretty. On May 8, 2018, Ludacris received 3 nominations and 1 win at the 2018 CMT Music Awards. On October 14, 2020, Netflix commissioned his then new animated musical children's television series known as Karma's World for an initial 40 episodes from 9 Story Productions, Creative Affairs Group, and his production company, Karma's World Entertainment, using the inspiration of his eldest daughter, Karma Bridges, and the eponymous website created in 2009. Ludacris stated in interviews with People and Billboard that he and Karma spent close to a decade and a half working on the perfection of the production. The series premiered on Netflix on October 15, 2021, alongside its official soundtrack album, which was produced and released by Def Jam Recordings on global digital music streaming platforms. On January 17, 2022, the series got nominated for 3 NAACP Image Awards, including Outstanding Children's Program, and Ludacris himself got nominated for his voiceover performance as Karma's on-screen father. Netflix renewed Karma's World for a second season on back of The Encouragements, which premiered on March 10, 2022. In August 2021, Ludacris released the single Butter.atl. In December 2022, it was announced that Ludacris would open up for Janet Jackson's Together Again tour. Ludacris made a cameo in Usher's Super Bowl 58 halftime show, performing his portion of Yeah. Business Ventures. Heel window of the Clyde x Luda Puma Clyde sneaker showing the Disturbing the Peace logo. Ludacris is the founder of his own record label, Disturbing the Peace, an imprint distributed by Def Jam Recordings. He is the co-owner of Conjure Cognac. In 2011, Ludacris released his own line of headphones called Soul by Ludacris, manufactured by Soul Electronics. He also has various real estate holdings. In 2006, Ludacris appeared in a television and print advertising campaign for Puma, which released 3 limited edition models of a Clyde x Luda Puma Clyde sneaker, with Ludacris' image on the heel of the insole and DTP for Disturbing the Peace on the heel window. In November 2016, Ludacris opened up a restaurant named Chicken and Beer at the Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport in Atlanta. In December 2023, he made his theater-producing debut as a producer on the Broadway musical How to Dance in Ohio. Philanthropy. In 2011, Ludacris joined a joint effort between Do Something and Better World Books to collect books to help restock library shelves in New Orleans. He filmed a public service announcement in support of the Epic Book Drive. Ludacris also started the Ludacris Foundation at the beginning of his music career in 2002. The aim of the foundation is to inspire the youth through education, memorable experiences, and helping the youth help themselves. The focus is what Ludacris calls the 3 Ls: leadership and education, living healthy lifestyles, and Ludicares. In October 2019, Ludacris was named the Artist in Residence at Georgia State University, where he will mentor students in the Creative Media Industries Institute. On April 13, 2022, Georgia State University announced the Georgia Board of Regents had approved Ludacris to receive an honorary Bachelor of Science degree in music management. He received this honorary degree on May 4, 2022, at the commencement ceremony at Center Park Stadium, where he also delivered a speech. Controversy. T.I. Tensions began when T.I. saw Disturbing the Peace rapper I-20's video in which a man wearing a shirt with the words Trap House, citation needed, was being beaten. T.I. believed the man's shirt actually said trap music, perhaps interpreting this to be a reference to his album of the same name. Later, G-Unit artist Young Buck asked these 2 fellow Southern rappers to appear on his new record on the track Stomp. T.I. recorded a verse that contained a line that Young Buck considered to be an insult towards Ludacris, "Me gettin' beat down? That's Ludacris." Young Buck spoke to Ludacris about his interpretation of the event. Ludacris then later recorded a verse that can be found on the album Straight Outta Cashville. T.I.'s record company wanted Ludacris to change his verse before they sanctioned it, but Ludacris refused and T.I. was therefore replaced by Game on the album version. On June 24, 2007, at the Sunset Tower Hotel in West Hollywood, California, T.I. was involved in a physical altercation. During a luncheon held by Kevin Liles of Warner Music Group, parent company of T.I.'s label, Atlantic Records, the MC got into a fight with Ludacris manager Chaka Zulu. According to witnesses, T.I. punched Zulu in the face and choked him, and a small, brief melee ensued. T.I. was awarded honors for Best Hip-Hop Artist at the BET Awards and took the opportunity to apologize for his scuffle with Zulu. While accepting his award, he expressed regret over the situation. "They say it's a fine line between brilliance and insanity," he said, in an apparent reference to his troublesome alter ego, TIP. During the broadcast, cameras showed his one-time rival Ludacris smiling in the audience. The two rappers have resolved their disagreement and have collaborated on 4 songs: "Wish You Would" off Ludacris's 6th studio album Theater of the Mind, "On Top of the World" off T.I.'s 6th studio album Paper Trail, and "We in This Bitch" off DJ Drama's album Quality Street Music. The original version of the latter had Kanye West. The two have also collaborated on Big Boi's song called "In the A," released on the 2012 album Vicious Lies and Dangerous Rumors. Bill O'Reilly and Pepsi. On August 27, 2002, political pundit Bill O'Reilly called for all Americans to boycott Pepsi products because they hired Ludacris for promotional purposes, and O'Reilly objected to Ludacris's style and attitude. The next day, O'Reilly reported that Pepsi had fired Ludacris. 6 months later, Russell Simmons and his Hip Hop Action Summit threatened a boycott of all PepsiCo products on the grounds that Pepsi had subsequently hired Ozzy Osbourne for a commercial, even though Osbourne is notable for use of profanity and explicit lyrics. Eventually, an agreement was reached that resulted in PepsiCo donating $3 million to Ludacris's foundation and other inner-city charities. This is referred to in the 2003 songs "Hose in My Room" as well as "Blow It Out" from Chicken N' Beer. 3 years later, this would be referred to again in the song "Number One" spot. During a summer 2003 appearance on MTV's The New Tom Green Show, Ludacris and host Tom Green launched copies of Bill O'Reilly-authored books into a dumpster using a homemade catapult. In an interview with RadarOnline.com in 2010, Ludacris stated that he and O'Reilly had made amends after having a conversation at a charity event. 2008 presidential election. The song "Politics as Usual" from Ludacris's mixtape The Preview has caused controversy due to lyrics in the song criticizing Jesse Jackson, "Now Jesse talkin' slick and apologizin' for what? If you said it then you meant it," in reference to Jackson stating that he would like to cut Obama's nuts off. John McCain don't belong in any chair unless he's paralyzed. President George W. Bush: "Yeah, I said it, 'cause Bush is mentally handicapped / ball up all of his speeches and throw just like candy wraps / 'cause what you talkin', I hear nothing even relevant / you the worst of all 43 presidents. Hillary Clinton: Hillary hated on you, so that bitch is irrelevant," in reference to Hillary's campaign comments against Obama.